morning, Stampers. Hello and welcome to the LovenStamps studio. My name is Meg and I am excited to share some projects with you today. So actually, today's video is kind of special. I actually have two projects to share with you, but our overall idea is that we are going to unlock some of the secrets of how to design projects. So how to design a layout, how to, when you sit down and you look at your paper and you think, I want to use a stamp set, what am I going to make? Like, let's just make that process really easy, okay? So there are some special things in this new book that will help you do this, and I'm going to show you how to use the really obvious ones, and I'm going to show you how to use the not so obvious ones. So we'll get a little bit of both. The stamp set that I'm going to use for our card today is Poppin' By, and if you haven't seen this one yet, it is a really fun set, which actually has a set of dies that coordinate, and these guys are really cute. And by cute, I mean they're popcorn kernels with like eyes and little smiles, right? Like, it doesn't really get much cuter than that. So we're going to use those. And then I'm also going to pull in one last totally cute project so that I can share with you a scrapbook page. And that one has like a little life update for me, as well as some fun tips for you guys, which are going to help us unlock our card layouts and scrapbooking layouts. So remind me if I don't remember to tell you about the virtual retreat, which is going to come up in July. And so you're going to want to make sure that we talk about that one. So, all right. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Sue and Joan and Tanya. Oh yeah, Tanya says that she knew that I would be loving the Poppin' By stamp set. Any stamp set with a pun, you know that it's going to be right up my alley. Hey, Lori. All right. With that, let's go ahead and switch our camera down. Okay, so here we have this new book. If you don't have a copy, you can get this as a PDF on my website at LovenStamps.com, and you can search it virtually, which actually I find kind of helpful sometimes. I use the little find feature often on my virtual version of this book, because it means that I can easily find something that I'm looking for. Like, I can find turtle, and it'll show me everywhere that turtle appears in that big PDF file. But we are going to look here at page 24, and I have shown you these before from past catalogs, but these are templates. So they're kind of like a little map that shows you and gives you some ideas on how to arrange pieces. Now, these templates are very specifically designed to outlay all of the sort of copy that quick and easy options from the mix and match creations. But you can use these for any kind of card that you want. Like, this is a really simple design right here, a circle element in the center with a banner underneath. And in fact, let's see, do I have something? Yeah, sure. We'll call this a circle element with a banner underneath. So this is a bag that I did for a video. You can go back and look at this if you want to, with the butterfly, beautiful bouquet, sorry, trying to say it right, beautiful bouquet. But this is really the same kind of layout here, right? It's a circle with a line. I just put my line in the center instead of that. So really, these maps here are pretty easy to apply. And then if we go forward a few more pages, we have on page 28 the scrapbook templates. And these are what I wanted to show you. Now, I actually did a presentation for Stampin' Up! At our regional event in Indiana. I presented with my good friends Julie Davison and Mary Ellen Stites, and we each had different samples for that. So both of my projects today are coming from that presentation. But I wanted to give you a few tips about scrapbooking if this is something that is new to you. So what I have here, I have a bigger copy of our templates. Right here is the template that I'm going to use. So what I had was a variety of photos. We'll come back to this because I still have more secrets to unlock there. What I wanted to do was use a variety of photos, and I liked this here. So this is a tip for you if you have your pictures digitally. What I like to do is print all my pictures for a scrapbook page or 2-page, this is a lot of photos, onto a piece of photo paper. So this is printed at home on my printer. It's just an 8.5 by 11. And the nice thing about this is that I find when I print pictures from like Walgreens or, you know, Shutterfly or wherever, they all come the same size. And I want to have different variety of sizes. So I really like this strategy. Now, if you're looking at this like that looks hard to create, Meg, the answer is that it's not. So if you have not used Canva, it's canva.com, and I swear I should be getting like a commission from them or something, but I'm not. So go to Canva, and you can use Canva for free. There are paid versions, but you won't need it for this. And basically, you just open up a new 8.5 by 11 document and drop your photos onto it and resize them and decide which one you want to be. Like this one here, this is my oldest, Joey, with their banjo last summer at their summer job in New Mexico, living in the year in 1918. But you can decide which you want to be your focal point, and then you can add small versions. There's a little photo that was actually when I got to go visit from their campfire. There is their Crater Lake sign, elevation 8847, I think. There's Joey with a showing off a sign there. There's sort of part of their campfire. And this is the stove that Joey cooked on all summer, last summer, wood burning stove. Joey and their campmates. So anyway, fun chance to organize your photos, get them into different sizes, then cut them up so that you can use them on your page. So I decided to use this template right here with these banners that kind of go across and then have a element there at the bottom. And so I have my mat here. Let's see, that's for our other project. For our focal point, I have my picture here of Joey. Then what I decided was that it was more fun. I'm going to feature the turtles for this page. More fun to texture my mat and put my texture on there so that that is going to show around the edge. So it gives it sort of that rustic stone vibe, and also the turtles and sort of going slow. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Linda. Oh, Tanya says that she hasn't looked at the scrapbooking template yet. So yeah, you're going to have to check those out. All right, so this is going to be our main piece here. And then I have a variety of banners cut. So I have some banners from the turtle paper and some banners from our cardstock here. And these kind of, in getting with our mat here, give us a chance to go across. Now, my photos are a little bit bigger than some of the pieces in our elements. So let's pull some of these out. And so I might actually use these banners a little bit differently here. Maybe I would use them to mat some photos instead. Popping our Crater Lake photo here. Maybe this one up here. We're going to save this one back. And then we're going to do sort of a title kind of thing here. So on our map, we have this element here. So I'm going to pop this tiny little version of this photo. And then I have our numbers from the alphabet a la mode dies. And these are not only the alphabet, but also the also give us the numbers. So alphabet a la mode is a great set to have for scrapbooking if you don't already. So we have 1918. And then we have a little turtle. So I've cut our banjo playing turtle. You knew that this banjo turtle had to come out of our paper at some point for a project. So I'm going to pop this one on here like that. And so we have sort of this banner effect as our paper goes across this way. And then one more thing, I have this DSP banner here with our picture of Joey. So let's swipe all this stuff to the side and I'll show you our finished scrapbook page. So based on that scrap mat, here is our finished page. All right, so we have these elements that go across. We have sort of a main element in the center. We have some text and like a banner kind of down here at the bottom right corner. And we have this idea of these sort of little accents, these little circle accents here as we get those pieces set up there. So now this is a really fun scrapbook page with a lot of great memories. Depending on your scrapbooking style, you might want more or less of the journaling or chance to write messages or things like that to yourself. But that's the beauty of scrapbooking, is you can really make it your own. Yay, Lindsay says loves the banjo playing turtle. I know, I do too. Oh, okay, Bonnie, we won't tell any of your coworkers that you're watching at work. But the other thing that I wanted to mention to you for scrapbooking is if you're new to scrapbooking and you're looking for a way to get started and you like the idea of having a whole 12 by 12 album that would give you a chance to, let's see, sorry, I'm working on getting this. I just realized there you go. Okay. If you like the idea of a whole 12 by 12 album that would give you a 2-page spread for every month of the year, Stampin' Up! Has exactly that, and it is coming in July, but your kits are available now while supplies last. So it has a little bit of a pricey price tag. It's $250, but remember that you get $25 in Stampin' rewards from that. And you can apply those towards another purchase of a scrapbook or things like that. The album itself isn't included. It's all of the pre-cut pages, 4 stamp sets, lots of embellishments. It's an amazing set of supplies, and I will have it tomorrow, so I'll probably pop on to give you a little show and tell about that kit. But if you order your kit, your 12 by 12 album, or 12 by 12 albums, so it would have 12 2-page spreads, so one for each month of the year, you get access to a 3-day virtual crop that Stampin' Up! Is running. So it's a chance to kind of walk through those tutorials and get some little extras, and it'll be a lot of fun. You also, if you order that from me, are going to get a set of pillow gifts in the mail from me. So make sure that you are thinking about that, because every retreat should have pillow gifts, right? Virtual or not. And you will also be getting those pillow gifts if you're a LovenStamps demonstrator and you let me know that you've ordered that kit. Now, a little note on that, $250 is a little bit on the high side for a single item, but it's really not out of line with 24 pages, scrapbook pages, and 4 stamp sets. So it's a really nice chance to have that stuff all organized for you. The other thing to note is that if you are a demonstrator, you're going to get, at the bronze level, you're going to get a 20% rebate on that, 20% demonstrator discount. So that gives you another $50. And if you are a Bronze Elite demonstrator, then you're at 25%. So that's $75 that you would get discounted on that kit. Now I feel like I'm like, checking my math here. Times 0.25, $62.50. And is the Bronze Elite, and 20 times 0.2. Yeah, 50 was right. 50 and then 62.50. Whew. Okay, math on par is not my strong suit. All right, anyway, so those would be the demonstrator discounts, and you can sign up to be a demonstrator. The link is in the video description, and then you can get that discount on your virtual album kit. So all kinds of good things. All right, enough of that. So we are going to move on from scrapbooking, and we are going to look at another way to unlock the book here. And that is to go ahead and flip through the catalog until you find a card idea that you really like. And so I've got this card right here. This is from the Kintsugi Inspiration Suite. And a little note, starting June 3rd, Stampin' Up! Is going to run a suite sale. It's buy one, get one 50% off on suites and suite contents. So stamps or bundles or anything, papers. So watch for more details on that to be coming up. But I love this card idea here with this diagonal across the middle. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn this into our scrap map, okay? So I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna pull out some cardstock here. So I have our Pop and Buy stamp set, and we have our mats here. So I've got my strawberry slush here. I'm going to go ahead and, instead of putting it on the offset here, I'm going to go ahead and pop this here onto our elements right square. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and take, this is a piece of designer series paper from the Turtley Cute set, and I'm going to pop this one here on the front of our Duckling. Oh, it's right here. Darling Duckling ink pad. Okay. So, but here's the thing. When you're looking at a catalog sample or a scrap map, this is a 2-dimensional item. And you know me, I like to think of things in 3 dimensions. So what I'm gonna do instead is go ahead and pop this on the front, and we're gonna make this actually a panel that opens. Okay, so instead of just flat, we're gonna make this panel here. So let me grab my multi-purpose liquid glue and pop this on the back. So all I did was cut this as a rectangle of DSP and cut it on the diagonal. So I actually used the other half on the card that I've made previous to this. So, all right, so now what I wanna do though is I want to make that show through to the back. So we're gonna make this a little bit of a fun fold, and I'm gonna pull my trimmer and pop this on like so, okay? And so I've just trimmed away the extra element there. I'm gonna see if I can kind of, good thing about multi-purpose liquid glue is you can shift things. There we go. Okay, so now I have a little fun panel here that opens and gives us that little extra diagonal, but still is a lot like our card, okay? So let's go ahead and pop this here onto the back and layer this here. These colors come directly from the designer series paper, so Cherry Cobbler, Strawberry Slush, Darling Duckling. And I love using, since we're using the book here for card layout ideas, you might as well use the book for color ideas too. And so some of those are listed right up here. For each suite, there's a color set highlighted at the top, and that shows what's involved or what pieces are included in that suite, what color. So, all right, so this is gonna be our card base here. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop a basic white layer here inside that's gonna give us a chance to do our stamping. And then we'll have our element open like this, similar to the front of this Kintsugi Inspirations card. All right, so let's bring in our pop and buy, and we're gonna need, I didn't grab my blocks earlier, so let's just grab a bunch of those. Do you guys have stacks of blocks that you pull out when you're ready to stamp? I feel like if I, you know, you get Stampin' rewards on all of your orders that are $20 or more. Oh, I didn't realize I hadn't mounted this yet. Okay, well, we can do that together here. Here's my little pop word. We're definitely gonna use that. Anyway, so if you ever need to bump up an order to reach a threshold or something like that, $60 to get your LovenStamps monthly tutorial kit in the mail. Those are blocks are a great thing to add to your order. So, all right, so if you've never seen me mount a stamp set before, I'm going to show you how I do them. Gosh, we're full of all the tips today. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these, no pun intended, on. You're going to peel the backing from your stamp. You're going to peel the backing from here. If your stamp, sometimes when a new catalog comes out, there's some stamps that are a teeny bit offset. I like to trim that little extra bit of rubber if there's a lot extra. And then I'm just gonna layer this here onto our sticker and then pull this off, and voila, now we have our stamp here all ready to go. Okay, so now we have our cute little popcorn bucket. Probably I could have gotten a bigger block out for that, but that's okay. All right, and then we'll use a couple of these little popcorns. Again, there's a little slash in the middle of each of these stickers, so you don't have to work too hard to try and peel those. They're going to peel right off as part of your backing there with that slit in the center. Sometimes you can crack it a little bit from the side, and that helps. But we're going to go ahead and pop another popcorn on there. Let's see, we'll use that one there. And let's see, we're going to use our greeting, which says something punny, right? Popping by to say hello. There we go. Like Tanya said, I can't resist a pun. All right. So if you're wondering how I made my sample card without actually having mounted my stamp set, the answer to that is that this stamp set wasn't on my initial list of stamps to get, but I was getting together to stamp with friends, Julie and Mary Ellen, to work on that presentation, and one of them had this stamp set, and so of course I had to go ahead and use it. But one of the great things about being demonstrator is having a whole crew of people with whom to get together or to stamp virtually. And of course, we have our LovenStamps demonstrator Zoom tomorrow night. So if you're a LovenStamp Fulls demonstrator, watch for information on that. Well, you have information on it. Watch for an updated email to come out today. So we have a good time. We have some guest presenters again this month. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so that gives us a good amount to work with here. Let's go ahead and do some stamping. Zoom you in. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to stamp some background elements here. Looking for okay, well, maybe I won't have it ready for you guys. I have my card that I did ahead of time, which I was going to pull out, but I can't find it now. So I guess we'll go ahead and do this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp some popcorn here. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on where these pieces fall because I want to make sure that we have room for our pieces to fit, and I want to make sure that we have a good space for writing on once you open the card. We're going to give this some pop, pop, pop. There we go. And now we're going to work on our element for the front of the card. Okay, really, where's my sample? Do you guys do this? Do you? Oh, I see it. This is what happens when I work across the room. Okay. I don't know. If I put something down for 2 minutes, then it pretty much is gone, right? I'll never see it again. All right, so we're going to pull in some basic white cardstock here and do some stamping for our front. And this stamp set has some great dies to go along with it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take advantage of that. I'm going to stamp our piece here in Cherry Cobbler. And then I'm going to clean this with my... Did you guys see our videos from last week? Happy pre-Friday, by the way. My new Stampin' Chamois, so exciting. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp this again in Darling Duckling, and I will explain why in a moment. All right, so anything else we need? Oh, we need our poppin' by to say hi. So we'll go ahead and ink that one up. When you're using a small stamp and a bigger block, make sure you don't over ink, catch the edges and make sort of a general mess of things like that. And see, I caught the edge right there. So I'm just going to be a little bit more gentle when I stamp and try not to press down the edges. There we go. Okay, so I don't catch any edges on our element. All right, let's close this up. We're not having random open ink pads everywhere. Oh, Joan says that's a good idea. That the one popcorn pea, a perfect ghost for the holidays. Yeah, you could absolutely put a little ghostly greeting with that and call it a ghost. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut these out. And we're also going to cut out some of our popcorn bits. And ta-da, through the magic of television, I have those all set here. Okay, so here's our pieces that we're going to use for the front of our card using our die cuts. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this popcorn have popcorn inside that is popcorn colored. So when you have a single stamp to get the elements of it colored 2 different ways. So one way would be to take the stamp and instead of inking it with a pad, ink it with markers. Sometimes I find I don't get the intensity of ink that I want from that. So instead what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and do 2 of these popcorn pieces, and then I am going to cut off the popcorn from this one. We're not going to use our little bucket friend there, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to pop it right over the popcorn on our card here, on our piece here. So it's going to fit right over the top and cover that up. And so now we have a popcorn bucket with very pretty Darling Duckling popcorn right there at the top of it. Okay. All right, we're going to take this and we are going to go ahead and layer a banner on here. So this is going to give our popcorn some place to stand, just like that. And let's go ahead and we'll glue this down. We'll just go ahead and do it. Now, when you have a card layout like this, you cannot go past the edge of the cardstock that is the fold, okay? So you see how our Darling Duckling is going to fold here? If our strip was longer than the Darling Duckling front, then I wouldn't be able to open our card here because it would get caught. Make sense? So remember to kind of pay attention there to what you're setting up so that you don't create an impossible situation. And then let's go ahead and we'll use a Stampin' Dimensional to pop on the back of here. We're going to have our popcorn here standing a little bit off to the side and on top of our banner. So he has a place to stand, okay? All right, so now let's look at some of these other elements that are here. We have popcorn with the outline, but then there's also these inside dies. And so I'm going to show you kind of what those look like. So you can stamp and you can add the extra. I feel like the extra lines here kind of obscure the faces and the cute factor. So my feeling is that if you're going to stamp and die cut, you're going to use the outline. If you're going to use the inside part, don't stamp it. Just use a piece of Darling Duckling cardstock, and then basically you have popcorn kernels all ready to go. But we also have these shoes and these glasses. So let's pull those out here. And I've got die cut in Strawberry Slush, 2 little shoes. Let's see, I think I have 2 left-hand shoes. I die cut them twice. So, okay, so here are a left-hand shoe and a right-hand shoe. And I'm going to go ahead and add them to our little popcorn bucket because, I mean, a popcorn bucket wearing sneakers, it just doesn't really, okay, it probably could get cuter, but not too much. So come on in and let's see this. I'm going to use my multi-purpose, what is multi-purpose? My take your pick tool to pick these things up so that I'm not getting glue all over my fingers. I've put the glue right there on our popcorn bucket, and I'm just going to tuck our shoes right there on top, okay? So now we have our little popcorn shoes. And then, I don't know, what do you guys think? I have the glasses that are die cut. Do we like our movie glasses there on our popcorn bucket? I kind of think yes. I could leave them off. I'll give you guys a chance to leave a comment if you want to. We're going to go ahead and pop some glue on the back here. And I'll pop these in. And you guys are going to let me know if we should put our movie glasses on. Okay. Let's see. Here's without. And here's with. All right. Yes on the bucket. yes on the glasses, Sue. All right, and then while we're doing that, I'm gonna pull in my Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems. And I just used these yesterday on the cards that my friend Lindsay Mann, you might have seen her, she had some comments here a second ago. We used these for our Maker Club projects yesterday. We had our once a month special Zoom for our Maker Club members. So if you're interested in more information about Maker Club, make sure you click in the video description and check out those details there. But I am going to do a little slide and stick, and we're going to pop a couple of these gems on here to give ourselves just a little bit of fun extra. Let's see. And then I think I'm also going to add in what happened to our ghosty friend here, our ghosty friend. We're going to put our ghosty friend on too. Now, same as our strip, you can't go past the edge of the Darling Duckling or you won't be able to open your cart. Okay, everybody universally says love the glasses. Okay, thanks guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't know where the glue is going to go on our bucket, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it here in the back of our glasses and pop the glasses on there. So now we have our cute little popcorn bucket with glasses popping in to say hello. And then this is sort of a low stress, somebody said a low stress card the other day. You don't have to write very much, but a fun way to add some extra little smile to someone's day. Here is the version without the glasses. If you are thinking, oh, I kind of liked it without the glasses. the glasses are kind of cute. The other thing we could do is, and I don't have this cut, so we're not going to do it today, but you could add like some film strip kind of here in the background, and you could have, you know, some, do this in basic black and have some little film squares included in there. So lots of fun dies in there. And actually, I'll show you also, since we got this stamp set mostly, we're going to pretend that we've mounted all the pieces. I'm going to show you how I store my stamps so that you can kind of see if this idea might be something that's helpful for you. I find that with our stamp sets, I'm always a little nervous that I've forgotten to put a piece away. So what I'm going to do is, Stella, the popcorn in the bucket. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to peel this paper off of the back. Sometimes it gets ripped, but that's okay. We're just going to, oh, this one didn't get ripped at all. I don't usually save my rubber. There are reasons you could save them, but I'm going to take this sheet here and I am going to pop it inside. So I'm opening up the stamp case and I'm popping it between the plastic backing and the case. And so now what I can do, when I've got my stamps all cleaned off here and I'm ready to put them away, I can pop them right into the case exactly in their spots. That one doesn't go there, it goes here. So that now I know that I have put all my stamps away. It makes it really easy to have these pieces all organized and ensure that you're not gonna lose any in the craziness of stamping. So, all right. So super handy there. I don't have them all to put away, but all right, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. This has been such a fun, full of tips video. Oh, Sandra, I'm glad you liked the tip. And Cindy says it looks like it's buttered. All right, so let's zoom out just a tiny bit here. And so those were the two projects that I shared today. Both of them inspired by items, stamps projects that we looked at from our catalog. So we have the Kintsugi Inspirations one there, and then we have our scrap map idea there for our fun turtle scrapbook page. So lots and lots of possibilities for putting the book to work for you. Oh, Joan says she loses dies. I hear you on that. So I usually, when I put my dies away, Joan, I like to count them. On the label on the front, it always says how many dies there are, a total of 10. So I can do a quick count and make sure that they're all there. I've also seen some people kind of use the same idea as what I've got inside my stamp set. So you might, when your dies come, you can use like a Sharpie or something and trace them. And then you can always put them back onto the card in the same place that you had them before. I know some people like to put them in magnet boards, magnet sheets. You can use a silver Sharpie to trace them, but basically make yourself a little map, just like we've done here with our stamps, so that you know if your elements are all back in the case before you put it away. So like I know that the only one I'm missing right now is I haven't washed that greeting set there, okay? Just to double check and make sure you have all your pieces so you don't lose any of the fun elements from your set. So. All right, everybody, happy, oh yes, Lori says magnetic sheets work great for die storage. Happy Friday, or pre-Friday, everyone. I know we're not quite there to Friday yet, but happy pre-Friday. I hope that you guys have fun plans for your weekend. I showed you that scrapbook page of Joey because I had a road trip last weekend and drove across the country with Joey to get them all ready for their summer job in New Mexico. So. If you want to send mail to Joey at the camp, let me know and I can give you their address, their mailing address there. That would be really fun, like a whole card shower. So I don't know, Joey's not going to watch this because there's no internet in the backcountry, and so I mean that might be kind of a surprise. So. All right, more suggestions. Oh, I love this part when you guys chime in with suggestions. So Tanya says she always keeps the rubber and just forget to use just the paper. It's hard to get in and out of the rubber. Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. So what Tanya is saying too is that, yeah, I used to do that too. I would just leave the rubber stuck in there and then I would pop the stamps back into the rubber. I don't do that because I don't like the edges to get crunched. I find this to be just a much easier a much easier method. But I used to use that method for a long, long time. And Sue said, oh, here's a tip on avoiding losing your dies. Okay, this one's for you, Joan. Sue said that she uses a magnetic tool tray. Harbor Freight has those. It's just a metal dish with a huge magnet in the bottom of it, and you can drop your dies in there after you use them. That way they don't like get stuck to paper or get like slid underneath things. You lose little elements of them. So yeah, those are a great idea too. My one is something my mom made for me years ago. This is a magnet sheet. So it's a frame from the dollar store. So just, you know, those cheap plastic frames. And then this is a piece of magnet sheet vent cover from the hardware store, you know, for like air vents. It's kind of the cheapest way to get this in bulk. And it's just glued. She used like some heavy duty double stick tape glued on there. And so I pop my dies on here all the time when they're near my die cut machine. So that way I don't lose the pieces. Yes, because that is always sad. So magnetic tool tray from Sue is another good idea. We're just full of the ideas here today. All right, well, that is us for this pre-Friday. Hope you guys have fun plans for your weekend. And I will have some more projects for you next week. Don't forget that this is one of the last couple days of the month of May, so last chance to get the starter kit special. Link is in the video description, and get a bonus $66 for free with your $99 order, basically. Really, really hard to beat that. And also the last couple of days to qualify for Turtley Cute cards in the mail. And I don't have, oh, I do have them. So if you haven't seen the Turtley Cute cards, you can go back and check them out. I've just been packing card kits. So here's one with our Turtley Cute double Z fold. These are all on my blog. Here is the other kit. It's that diamond panel pop-up card like this. So we have that diamond panel in the center, and that kit is also included if your order is $60 or more. And then you also get tutorials, PDF printable tutorials for the have your paper and see both sides too fun fold card, and for the window sheet card base. So with all of the panels there decorated and fun and so forth. So last couple days to qualify for that set of tutorials also. So, all right, I think that's it for us, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you all have a great weekend. And yeah, happy Stampin', everyone. Thanks so much.